welcome to Story Launch. Our story begins in the small coastal town of Porbandar, India, where on 2nd October 1869, a boy named Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born. Little did the world know that this humble child, born into a middle-class family, would go on to inspire millions and lead one of the most peaceful revolutions in history. From an early age, Gandhi was deeply influenced by his mother, who taught him the values of nonviolence, tolerance, and compassion. These values would form the bedrock of his life's work. But at this point, young Mohandas had no idea that his path would lead him to become the father of a nation. At the age of 18, Gandhi left India to study law in England. It was a challenging journey for a young man who had never been abroad. But despite the cultural shock, Gandhi embraced the opportunity. He studied hard, learning about Western law and ideas, but also explored other religions and philosophies, especially the teachings of Jesus Christ and Leo Tolstoy, both of whom emphasized love and non-violence. It was here that Gandhi began to piece together his philosophy of satyagraha, or truth force, which would later become his weapon in the fight against oppression. After completing his studies, Gandhi moved to South Africa to practice law. It was here that his transformation truly began. In 1893, Gandhi experienced firsthand the ugly face of racism and discrimination. He was thrown off a train for refusing to move from a first-class compartment reserved for white passengers. This incident, though humiliating, ignited a spark in Gandhi. He realized that injustice and inequality weren't just confined to his homeland. It was a global issue, and he felt a calling to fight it, not with violence, but with peace, courage, and persistence. In South Africa, Gandhi began organizing peaceful protests against discriminatory laws. His philosophy of satyagraha took shape as he urged Indians to resist unjust laws without raising a hand in anger. His belief was simple: through non-violent resistance, one could appeal to the humanity of the oppressor and create change. Gandhi's leadership gained attention, not just in South Africa but back in India, where colonial rule by the British was growing harsher by the day. In 1915, after more than 2 decades abroad, Gandhi returned to his homeland. India, at the time, was under the yoke of British colonial rule. Poverty was rampant, and the Indian people were treated as second-class citizens in their own country. Gandhi saw this injustice and knew that he had to act. But he wasn't a traditional leader. Instead of calling for arms or rebellion, Gandhi called for peace and unity. He encouraged people to boycott British goods, reject British taxes, and rely on self-sufficiency. One of his most symbolic acts was his promotion of the spinning wheel. Gandhi encouraged Indians to spin their own cloth, breaking their dependence on British textiles. This simple act became a powerful symbol of India's desire for independence. His message was clear: India didn't need violence to win freedom, but rather a united spirit of non-cooperation. In 1930, Gandhi led the historic Salt March, a 240-mile journey to the Arabian Sea. His goal? To defy the British monopoly on salt production. Thousands followed him, and when they reached the sea, Gandhi bent down, picked up a handful of salt, and declared that Indian people would no longer accept unjust British laws. This act of civil disobedience echoed around the world. The British were rattled. Gandhi's peaceful protests drew international attention and embarrassed the British Empire. But Gandhi wasn't seeking revenge. His goal was always the same: to achieve freedom through peaceful means. He believed that violence only bred more violence. For his defiance, Gandhi was arrested multiple times. But even behind bars, his message of peace and persistence continued to inspire millions. Each time he was released, he returned stronger, more determined to see India free. He led campaigns against untouchability, worked to unite Hindus and Muslims, and fought for the rights of the poorest in society. Gandhi's greatest strength wasn't just his ideas, but his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. Whether they were farmers, laborers, or intellectuals, Gandhi spoke their language. He believed in the power of the people and the moral force of non-violence. On 15 August 1947, India gained its independence. It was the culmination of decades of struggle, sacrifice, and persistence. Gandhi's dream had come true. But he knew that the battle for peace was far from over. As India celebrated, Gandhi mourned the violence and division that accompanied the partition of India and Pakistan. Despite the freedom he had fought so hard for, Gandhi was deeply saddened by the communal violence that had erupted. His life's work had always been about unity, about bringing people together, regardless of their religion or background. In the final years of his life, he worked tirelessly to heal the wounds of partition, preaching peace and understanding. On 30th January 1948, the world lost one of its greatest leaders. Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated by a man who did not believe in his vision of unity. The nation mourned, and millions wept for the loss of the man who had led them to freedom without ever raising a weapon. Though Gandhi was gone, his legacy lived on. His philosophy of nonviolence inspired movements around the world, from the civil rights movement in America to the anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa. His life was a testament to the power of peace and persistence, a reminder that change can come, not through force, but through unwavering belief in justice. Mahatma Gandhi showed the world that even in the face of oppression, one person's voice, guided by truth and love, can change the course of history. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of a man who changed the world. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore more stories of leaders who shaped the world through peace and persistence.